What is the mark of the beast? Well, very quickly, in brief summary, and if you have questions, you can ask any of the pastors of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. You can write me. You can send me an email. Well, I will be very happy to share with you more information about this. But very quickly, the beast as described in Revelation chapter 14 is the power of Rome, both pagan and papal. I'm not saying it's only papal, but I said both pagan and papal. That is the beast in the Revelation 14. And then the image of the beast is the satellite of Rome, which is apostate Protestantism. It has separated from the powers of Rome and yet continues to uphold what the Church of Rome upholds. Then the mark of the beast is the worship of Sunday as commanded by Rome. And then the forehead, receiving the mark on the forehead or on the hand, is receiving the worship of Sunday either by the mind, by the brain, or by the hand. Friends, let me tell you this. In the last days, towards the end of time, it will become very clear that the worship of Sunday is not a commandment of God, but a commandment of man. Nations will make laws that will enforce the worship of Sunday. And when that happens, and when a person continues to worship on the wrong day, in spite of the clear indication of the commandment of God and the laws that are made by man, then he begins to rationalize. And where does rationalization take place? It is in the mind. It is in the forehead, on the brain. When a person continues to rationalize, if Sunday worship is not true, why is it that the leaders of the nations around the world declares it to be so? You begin to be convinced using your reason, then you are in danger of receiving the mark of the beast on your forehead. And how is it received on the hand? Ang iba naman sasabihin, totoo nga, ang Sabado ang araw ng Sabat. Ang Sabado ay siyang araw ng pahinga, sang-ayon sa sinasabi ng salita ng Diyos. Ngunit, bakit naman ako maghirap? While everybody is enjoying it, let it be that the 7-day Sabbath is correct. But I don't want to suffer. Receiving through the hand means it's a symbol of ease. It's a symbol of ease. I don't care. I will just continue to. I don't believe that Sunday is the true day of worship. I believe that the 7th day is the true day of worship, but I don't care. Who cares anyway? That is receiving the mark of the beast in the hand. All right. Then the wrath of God, the anger of God, the plagues that are coming, and the fires of hell. Friends, there is a warning that is being preached, that is being circulated by the true church, a warning against the worship of the beast, his image, receiving his mark. And if we do not listen to it, the warning is we are going to be in danger with the fires of hell. Point number 7. The true church keeps all of God's 10 commandments. Now, please note, as you study your Bibles, Revelation chapter 14, here is the true identifying marks of the true church. True. Number 1. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and have the faith of Jesus. Mga kapatid, patience of the saints. Narito ang tiyaga ng mga banal. Kayo ba ay may tiyaga? Kung minsan kahit sa loob ng ating mga tahanan, wala tayong pasyensya. Ang isang tanda, mga kapatid, ay meron tayong tiyaga, meron tayong patience. But along with this patience, the true people of God keep the commandments of God and have the faith of Jesus. And the commandments of God that is being preached by the true church, friends, is not just 9 out of the 10, but the whole 10 commandments. Ngayon, nakakalungkot. Bakit? Sinasabi, okay, thou shalt not have other gods before me. Tinuturo. Pinapasunod. Na huwag kayong magkaroon ng ibang Diyos. Iisa lamang ang tunay na Diyos. Itinuturo sa lahat ng Kristyanismo. Pangalawang utos, huwag kayong magkaroon ng mga images. Do not bow down, do not worship images. Kahit ang ating mga kaibigan na may mga images, tanungin ninyo kung sila ba'y nagsasamba. Sabi nila, hindi. Simbol lang yan ng aming sinasamba. So, itinuturo. Pangatlo, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Itinuturo. Kung kayo ay Kristiyano, mamumuhay kayong Kristiyano kasi dala-dala ninyo ang pangalan ni Kristo. Yun po, mga kapatid. Let's skip number 4. Let's go to number 5. Honor your father and your mother. Itinuturo, hindi. Tinuturo. Number 6. Thou shalt not kill. Itinuturo, hindi. Itinuturo. Number 7. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Itinuturo, hindi. Itinuturo. Thou shalt not steal. Itinuturo, hindi. Tinuturo pa rin. Pinapatupad. Thou shalt not, number 9. Thou shalt not tell lies. Pinapatupad. Ang number 10, thou shalt not covet anything that does not belong to you. Pinapatupad. Ano lang, mga kapatid? What is only being denied? Ang pang-apat. Ano yung pang-apat? Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And just so, to skip the fourth commandment, sasabihin, wala na yung kautusan. Ipinako na yan sa cross. But we see, friends, the Bible says that the true church of God worships God and keeps the commandments and have the faith of Jesus. Now, note that the true church keeps the commandments of God not to earn salvation. Napag-aralan natin ito nung Martes. Not to earn salvation. Salvation is by grace through faith in Jesus alone. The true church keeps the law not to be saved, but because she is saved. It is a mark of His love and gratitude in response to the great salvation that she has received. She believes that saving faith establishes the law. Point number 8. The true church is saved by grace through faith in Jesus. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. Fellow Seventh-day Adventists, don't ever be tempted that you are keeping the commandments of God, that you are keeping the 10 commandments, including the seventh-day Sabbath, in order for you to earn salvation. No way. That's not the Bible way. The Bible is, we are saved by grace through faith. Our keeping of the commandments is an evidence that we have been saved by God's grace, which we have accepted through faith in Jesus. If you love me, Jesus said, keep my commandments. Point number 9. Christ's church will suffer or suffers persecution. Ito ang nakakatakot. Because if you keep the commandments of God, the devil is angry at you. Revelation 12 verse 17. And the dragon was enraged with the woman, the church, and he went to make war with the rest of her offspring, the members of the church. The devil is angry with the commandment-keeping people of God. Do not keep the Sabbath. Nobody will be angry at you. But try to begin the Sabbath and you will begin persecution. You will begin to experience persecution. Friends, it is in the Bible. And it is not only that. Satan is angry with God's commandment-keeping church. Satan wars with Christ's church. Revelation 12, verses 1 to 5, right from the very beginning. The glorious woman is Christ's true church. The woman in labor during the birth of Jesus Christ, through using Herod, the church was being persecuted. Then the great red dragon, Satan, during the time of pagan and papal Rome. And then the dragon attempts to devour the baby. Herod tries to kill Jesus. And the child caught up Christ's ascension. These are, a brief summary of what happens as a result of the persecution that is going on, that's taking place, that has taken place and continues to take place and will continue to take place just before the end of the cross of provision. But in spite of all this persecution, friends, the woman was given power by God to flee to the wilderness, where she was a place prepared by God, and they should feed her there 1,260 days. For 1,260 days in prophecy, prophetic interpretation, one day is equivalent to 1 year. And for 1,260 years, the church of God was in hiding in the Waldensian mountains. I have been reading the book Controversy, and I have been reading History of Western Civilization. History of Western Civilization. It is very clear how the church that was in power in Rome ran against or ran after the church who remained faithful to the keeping of the scriptures. The Waldensians. Biblical prophetic interpretation, 1 day for a year, 1,260 days, 1,260 years. It's a long study, friends. But here is just a summary. The truth was in hiding, and the error was enthroned. Ano itong mga false doctrines, mga kapatid, na inintroduce ng Babylon, the apostate church? Sunday worship was introduced, 321 AD, as we have already known. Infant baptism was introduced. Veneration of the saints was introduced. Purgatory was introduced. Confession to priests was introduced. Penance was introduced. Prayers for the dead were introduced. All of this do not have any biblical basis whatsoever to be taught and practiced in Christianity. But all of this came during the dark ages, during the 1,260 days period, 60-year period, where the Inquisition was established and more than 60 million Bible-believing Christians were put to death because of their adherence to the true faith of the saints. Dissenters were persecuted and nonconformists were burned at stake. Many of them became martyrs, dying for their faith. And even here in our country, 3 priests were persecuted: Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora. The Gumburza, friends. You remember that in your Philippine history. All of this. Why? Because they went away. They fought the powers that came from Rome. But the woman did not experience malnutrition while in the wilderness. God gave her strength. She kept preaching. And gradually her voice of truth was heard around the world. And the rediscovering of the truth came. During the 16th century, the Lutherans came and they were preaching about the grace of Jesus Christ. During the 17th century, the Baptists came and they preached about the true baptism of Jesus, baptism by immersion. During the 18th century, the Methodists came and they taught doing good works as a result of being saved by grace through faith. And the 19th century, the Seventh-day Adventist Church came, preaching about the judgment, about the Sabbath, about the second coming of Jesus. All of these beautiful truths began to come out again after the church was in hiding for 1,260 years according to prophecy. Friends, God's plan is beautiful. Today, Christ has honest people in all religions. I believe that the true church of God is called the remnant church, keeps the commandment of God and has the faith of Jesus. But at the same time, I also believe that God has a people, His own people in the different religions around the world. Honest, sincere in their belief. And Jesus said, concerning these people, John chapter 10 verse 16, and other sheep I have which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they will hear my voice. And there will be one flock and one shepherd. So I am very careful. While I believe the marks of the true church as outlined in Revelation chapter 14 and chapter 12 of the book of Revelation, I also believe that there are honest people out there. And this is the reason why the gospel is being preached. The message of the angel of Revelation 18, verse 4 says, come out of her, my people. Come out of Babylon. Christ is calling his people